today we're going to be going over updates that I would like to see added to Theme Park Tycoon 2. Over the last year, we've seen some of the biggest, most game-changing updates hit Theme Park Tycoon, like drop tracks, copy-paste, and even new game passes. But since the game is always growing and evolving, I thought it'd be fun to sit down today and go over updates that I would like to see added to Theme Park Tycoon. The last one I really want added so bad. Before we get into any of that, make sure you subscribe to the channel, as I'm trying to hit 100,000 by the end of the year. We're getting very close. We're only 6K away now. So make sure you subscribe. But anyways, let's just get straight into this. Hey guys, and welcome back. And today we're going to go over some updates I want to see added to the game. Now, since the last time I did one of these videos, the game is literally and entirely different. I mean, bro, you can literally do this now. I can literally just select all this and then like copy and paste it. Oh, object there. Okay, no, you don't see that. The building is completely different. The core mechanics of the game is entirely different, and things that I've requested have actually been added to the game. But still, there's definitely some things I want to be added. So let's just get straight into this. Now, the first thing I would like to see added to the game is an increased guest count. Now, I've talked about this a few different times, but the issue with this game currently is the fact that there are so few guests in the game. Some of these roller coasters can literally fit dozens and dozens of people. Like, for instance, the hyper coaster, the inverted coaster, floorless coaster, stand-up coaster, flying I mean, literally the list goes on. And I swear, whenever I see guests ride these rides, you only get like 1 or 2 people on board. I mean, the train is never full. And these guests here haven't really been updated much since the game's release. I mean, if you go all the way back, you can literally see these exact same guests pretty much the same ever since the game released. Which is why I would really like to see some increased guest count, and that goes on to the next thing I want to see added. It is about how guests in this game literally are so just stereotypical and default and have no variation to them. You know, I understand that the game really has to like save data wherever it can. You know, I really would like to see some variations in guests. Like, for instance, guests just look exactly the same. Like, they're all the same skin color. They have the same shirts on. They all have the same face. And there's just a lot more to it. And as well, these faces and some of the avatar items they're wearing, you can't even do that on Roblox very soon. Which is very stupid. I talk about it in a Schlep video. You can watch it here. But, yeah, these guests could literally get Theme Park Tycoon banned in the future. So I just like to see some more custom guests, some more variations, different skin colors, different variations, different hairs, different faces. They just all look very basic. And like I was saying about the last thing that I want, the guests have not changed since the game's release. All of these guests have been practically the same ever since the game released. You know, just to kind of add on to the guesting a little bit, I think it'd be cool to add families, to add groups of people, because that's usually how theme parks work. Not everybody is just walking into a park individually and then just throwing their money into the air as they walk through the gates. Yes, I'm talking about you, Marcus. Like, why'd you just throw your money in the air? You want me to go pick it up? I'm killing you, Marcus. Ugh! No, oh, well, he's now getting sent to the back rooms. Well, have fun down there, bro. But another thing I'd like to see added to the game is kind of an updated system, and it's going to tie back to the mannequins and all that, but let me just begin with what I want. So I would really like to see animatronics added to the game. Now, I think it would be pretty easy. Time did a video not that long ago showing about how you can pretty much make your own custom animations literally just by recording a video of yourself. Like, Roblox will capture that and then translate it into your Roblox character. Not to mention all the new facial rig animation stuff that just hit Roblox. It would be very interesting to see Dennis maybe make animatronics, and maybe we can animate them and add custom faces where they can move and talk and all of that. But I think all of these animatronic systems can be directly tied back to the mannequins, because the mannequin system right now is pretty limited. Now, I do actually kind of like how these work, because this allows YouTubers and, you know, different people to actually kind of sign parks just by placing down a mannequin, and, you know, you get a direct replica of us. But at the same time, I don't really know how I feel about it, because I would like to just make my own custom mannequins, and, you know, if I want like someone operating a ride in a control booth, I don't want to have to dress up my character like one. Maybe like some presets, and then, you know, if we do the whole animations thing and, you know, all of that, tie it into the new mannequin system, I think that would be very cool. There's a lot of ideas, but I just thought it'd be cool to tie those two together. I have so many ideas on what you could do for a system like that, but I think it'd just be really cool to see an overhaul for mannequins. And I feel like they would kind of become invalidated if animatronics came to the game. Now, something I really like to see added to the game is some more expansion slots. Now, in the most recent update to Theme Park Tycoon, we got even more expansion slots. So before, we didn't have this and all the way around like that. And we also got recently a big new updated map to the game. There are definitely two things I've both asked for, but I think the space in the game, it's big. But like, you know, a lot of people who build realistic coasters can only fit like one coaster into their park. And it's kind of limited. Like for instance, hyper coasters or giga coasters, you can't really fit one in your park just because of the space limitations in this game compared to something like Planet Coaster. Now, I know most of these limitations as well boil down to Roblox things, but still, I think it would be nice to see a massive plot with just a single server where people can just have free reign. Because, you know, I've seen so many Disney parks in this game, but the reason why none of them ever get finished, well, it's because of how small the actual plot sizes are in this game. You just can't make a Disney park in Theme Park Tycoon. It's just so small. So I feel like, you know, some more expansion plots would be nice, or just in general, just allow us to have a huge space in just a solo server that we can invite people to. I know builders would just love that. Now, the next thing I would like to see added to the game is actually kind of a bug that kind of annoys me sometimes. So some of the primitives in the game haven't actually been updated to where you can actually resize them. So you can see like some of these cylinder primitives, you can't actually resize them. As we scroll through, you'll see some more like these. And those are definitely some very important primitives, like the cylinder ones. I feel like that's definitely very important, especially the cylinder ones. I mean, there are some of them where you are able to resize them, but there's also other primitives you can't, like these. These quarter pieces are so useful, and you can't do anything. I don't know. I just really like to see this get fixed. I actually think some of them did get patched, because there used to be a lot more that you couldn't resize, so I think he's slowly going through and fixing all of them right now. I would like to see that fixed. Thank you, Dennis. Now, the next thing I'd like to see added, which I think is going to happen very soon, and I've talked about this a bit on the channel, but I think really right now the game's getting in a state where I could see it getting added pretty soon, and that is staff. Now, I actually thought that staff was going to be here a lot sooner than it actually came, and I had a pretty good reason for it. So before in Theme Park Tycoon, when you used to place stalls down, these old stalls right here, you would actually see the person in here, so he would be like facing out like this. And when the update came out with these brand new stalls, it removed the staff worker in there, which made a lot of people suspect, are we getting staff? Now, Water Park World actually has staff in it, which is another game created by Dennis, and I think the staffing system in that game is absolutely remarkable and really brilliant. I would love to see a staff system like that come to Theme Park Tycoon, and I think it would be really cool for making money farms. It'd add like another element that people have to worry about and make it more competitive and fun to do. And I think as well, just with parks in general, it would just make parks look better. You know, having staff walk around cleaning the floors, working behind the registers, or even operating the rides. Like, that would just add a whole new type of immersion to the game that would really bring out, you know, the fact that we are building theme parks. It make it more real, I guess. I don't know. So, staff, please. Yeah, awesome. The next thing I'd like to see added is something kind of goes along with these rides that were added not that long ago. And this also ties into a thing that I want specifically. I'm just gonna start. So, as you guys know, we have like these sort of rides here. They're definitely very cool, but I wish these rides were programmable. I wish I could make it so I could have this, you know, stay up for a certain amount of seconds, maybe like fall down to this point, go back up like Tower of Terror, you know? But these rides typically don't do that. It would be cool though to control how long it's up there, how fast it's spinning, how fast actually, I think you can control how fast the descent is, but that would be very nice to see. I really want to see, though, something called an SNS freefall tower. Now, this is like Supreme Scream. You find it at Knott's Berry Farm, or like Power Tower at Cedar Point. This is actually a ride that isn't really featured in that many coaster simulation games. It's featured in Planet Coaster, but it's really badly done, in my opinion. I think it'd be cool to see Dennis make like one of those triple towers. And those rides typically have controlled free falls, descents, launches. So I think those two things would definitely be very awesome to be added to the game. An awesome suggestion I got down below from one of you guys. And make sure as well to comment down what you guys would like to be added. I don't know if I mentioned that in the video yet. But someone recommended a two-person hypercoaster. Now, closest we really have to that is this. The multi-launch coaster is based off of the Mac multi-launch. The Mac multi-launch roller coaster train is also used for the hypercoaster variant like DC Rivals. But since you know we have the hypercoaster that is 4 sheets across, and we have one that is kind of like one that only really has one installation around the world. Yeah, I think it has a few, but they're all resting in China. I'd like to see the 2 across variant for the hypercoaster train. Now, the 2 across variant, you can see at a lot of different parks. Like, for instance, like Diamondback, or like Shambhala at Portaventura. I'd really like to see that variant get specifically added into Theme Park Tycoon. And I think as well, it would just really fit the game more. Just because there's just so little guests walking around, you know, you might make the rides look a little more populated. I don't know. But that kind of ties into the next thing I'd like to see added to the game, which is just some more custom rides added to the game, and like specifically based off of different rides. So I recently just saw this by Fringus over on Twitter. This dude has been like in the coaster space for a very long time, but he has now started work on his brand new coaster game. And he has made a lot of different coasters that I just like to see added to the game. As you can see here, we have the Top Thrill Dragster original train, which looks awesome. We have a Velocicoaster train, which also looks really cool. I would love to see something like that added to the game. And then here, I'm not sure what this is. I think this is a Vekoma roller coaster. That would be pretty cool in the game. And then over here is the Schwarzkopf, but I'd love to see like these sort of variants out of the game, like more custom types for roller coasters. Like for instance, we could get maybe a skin of the multi-launch coaster that looks like the Velocicoaster train. That would be cool. Or like a skin of the hydraulic launch coaster that is like themed after the Top Thrill Dragster one. I don't know, there's definitely a lot of different ideas for that. I feel like different skins for roller coasters would be really cool. I feel like he's focusing on very small things that I don't think a lot of players are really going to utilize. Like, I love you, Dennis, but I don't know how many instances I would be using, like, a full-on police car. And, I think we have hit a lot of different variants just for the junior coaster. Now, I really like to see you try doing some more with, the different rides we have here. Yeah, that'd be very cool to see. I love you, Dennis. I'm sorry. But the, one thing I think should be added, this isn't really like a skin or anything like that. I would like to see a brand new River Rapids. I've been talking about this literally since forever, but I really think the game actually needs it. Like, dude, we already have the new log ride, we got the new splash boats. Bro, next update, come on, you gotta give us a brand new Rapids ride, man. Like, it really needs to be added. Like, I get comments like every video. The Rapids ride was literally the #1 suggestion in the last video I made, and I can see why. This is a very popular ride you can find in almost any theme park, and the variant in this game is very old, and definitely would need an improvement if it was added. And I could see Dennis doing a lot of really cool things with this. Like, he could literally make it so it, like, actually floats freely on the river. He could actually just make it, like, free float, sort of like how Roller Coaster Tycoon 3 did it. I mean, there's definitely a lot of different things he could do, but I'd really like to see a brand new River Rapids ride. And finally, the last thing I would like to see added, and I've suggested this almost every video, is weather. Weather is really needed into this game. I feel like it would change the environment of the game, and it would just make the game look more realistic and be a lot better. There's a lot of different resources on Roblox that are completely free that Dennis could easily add to the game. I don't know how data efficient they are and if it would work with the game properly, but you know, I would think it would just look amazing. Like, I can only imagine how beautiful a theme park would look in this game with just rain. I mean, I've kind of tested it out with like rain and fog and all that in this video here, and it just looked incredible, and I would just love to see that added to the game. But yeah, those are some things I'd like to see added to Theme Park Tycoon. And by the way, as per usual, this video isn't literally, it's just a fun video where we can just think about different things that would be cool out of the game. I don't know. But I think it's gonna be where we end today's video. If you like today's video, subscribe down below, and also tell me in the comments what you want to be added to the game. But anyways, we're gonna end the video here. Bye, guys.